channel, guys? It's your boy Celeb Man. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Of course, Celeb Wifey's not here, so I'm doing a second episode of what it's like being married to an autistic person. So today I want to just talk a little bit about my relationship with my wife, and again, not because I want to talk crud or I want to, put our relationship in the limelight. It's more so because I feel like talking about experiences that has to do with neurological disorders or mental health, I think is really, really important, to spread awareness, because so much people go through it and we make it sometimes a taboo or something that's in the abyss, when in my understanding it's quite on everyone's front door, or it's visible on everyone's front door. And I really loved all of you guys' comments, and I think that was the highlight of it, just reading some of you guys' comments and your experiences and just how you kind of married to what we said. Someone even shared that they've been married for 17 years with a partner who's autistic, going through some of their trials, and they were just so powerful to read. 17 years strong, and you're still married and you've had all of these experiences, and just how you've learned and grow from it. So guys, keep your comments coming. I really, really appreciate them. And if you like the things that we're sharing, guys, please subscribe to our channel. It really, really does make a big difference, your one single subscription. So please subscribe to our channel, guys. And literally, we want to make this platform something that's really, really big, really powerful, and also make it a movement that can have an impact on people, on their lives and on their livelihood. So thank you, guys. Today, like I said, I want to talk about love. I want to talk about what it's like to love someone who is autistic, and kind of talk about the challenges that I went through experiencing love and sharing love, and then sort of some of the results or some of the solutions that we've put in place, or maybe things that I've learned along the way, and I'll share some of those things with you. So I'm going to kind of just cover 3 topics. The first one is how my wife, so how does Hayley receive love? So when I show her love, how does she receive it? The second thing I want to talk about is how she shows love. So how does she show love to me? And the last one is how or what have we learned along the way to communicate love effectively one to another. So those are the 3 things that I'm kind of going to cover today. So the first one is, how does she receive love? So again, I like to start with my stories. So I'll start with a story. There was one day that I really felt like I wanted to show some love to my wife and do something really, really nice for her. I don't really remember everything that I did, but I know I bought her some things. I bought her something that I thought was really nice, kind of took some time and care into thinking about these things. We went to a nice restaurant, I think it was like Burger and Lobster or something. We had some nice food, we ate, we had a really nice time. Burger and Lobster is one of our favorite restaurants. So we went to it. And I think I came back and I gave her, like, I'm not sure what I did, but I did something. It was quite a while ago anyway. But I did something nice. I think we just spent the evening together. I think just playing some games, like board games or whatever, things that I know she likes. So I can't really remember. Anyway, I did that for her, thinking that I'm in her good books. I'm thinking, yeah, it's gonna be a good night tonight, and yeah, that was it. She was like, thank you, and that was it. And I went to bed so frustrated that night. I was so mad. I was like, what? I just gone out of the way to do this amazing thing for you, and this is how you respond. I was a little bit kind of upset, to be quite honest. I didn't say nothing on it. I just sort of left it as that. But all of a sudden, it started to become apparent that she wasn't really recognizing anything that I did, any gestures that I did. I like to throw it down in the kitchen. The man can chef it up, you get me? Man's a chef, get me, fam? So I oftentimes will cook for her as well. Let's say she's had a long day working. Even though I work as well, I work more hours than her, if I get home before her, because sometimes at that time she was working in retail, she may start like at noon and finish around 7 or 8 or something. I've been at work from 9 and I'm finished around 6 o'clock, so I'll get home around 6, like an hour or so before her, and I'll go shops, get some food, go to the kitchen, I'll make her a nice meal. She'll come home to a nice meal, freshly cooked, home cooked meal, and again, it was just like, sometimes there was nothing. There wasn't even a thank you or anything like that. I guess not even a thank you. I guess it's more sort of recognition that something nice has been done for her. There was none of that. And again, it used to really get to me, and it got to the stage that I, when we would leave to go to work, when I would leave to go to work in the morning, she would always say, "Babe, don't leave without saying, you love someone, because you never know what can happen." And I love you, babe, good night, blah, 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 whatever. It got to the point where I would say to her, she'll say, "I love you," and I would be like, "Don't tell me, show me." Because I felt like all the love that I'm doing, she wasn't really receiving it in a way that she was translating it back to me. So all of a sudden, I was a little bit demoralized. I literally felt like my wife doesn't love me. This got it got to a stage where it was really bad, because now I wasn't doing these nice things that I was doing as often as I was. I wouldn't do nice things for her because I felt like, well, she's not receiving it, so what's the point? And then, like I said, it got really bad. So one day I happened to speak to her mum about it, because she could see that our relationship was just having some issues. Oh, and obviously Hayley would speak to her mum as well, that like, he's not doing it anyway. So we had a conversation about this, and she introduced us to something called, I can't remember exactly what the book or article was, but the gist of it was recognizing that people have something called different love languages, which is something that I had actually heard before, but it wasn't something that I'd even processed or thought about up until when my mother-in-law, she brought it up to me in this conversation, and she kind of just pitched a question to me. She was like, "Do you know what her love language is?" And I literally didn't. Anyway, kind of fast forward a little bit, I was doing my own kind of just research about love language and reading up on it. And what I kind of realized was the love that I was showing to my wife was more so the love that I like to receive. So all the things that I was doing was my love language. And understanding it now, it's not her love language, So it kind of got really, it was a big eye-opener for me, because all of a sudden it helps me recognize that though I'm doing something great, it may not necessarily be what she wants, which is quite important, because I used to always say, like when I was on the dating scene and I wanted, I wanted to keep a girl interested, I knew that what the girl wanted was my time. So what I would do is I would spend time with them, but I wouldn't kind of have the conversations that I knew she wanted to have. So I would do things like spend time with her, but talk about like football or boxing or things I was interested in. So she would enjoy my company, but it's not the kind of conversation she wants. So therefore she would kind of want to chill with me again and again and again. And before she knows it, she's mentally attached to me because she's constantly wanting to spend time with me. So it was kind of like a trick I used to do when I was dating, and guys, it worked. So all of you single guys and gals watching this, that's a little trick. But anyway, so it kind of, it was like a mind blow to me. I was like, rah, this is now interesting. So it really made me start to think about the things that I'm doing for her that I call love. Is it something that's is this her love language? Is it something that she considers as love? And what I kind of realized, which was a hard pill to swallow, is that no, it's not her love language. So I had to learn what her love language was, which is, I'm going to come to that at the end of this. So the next topic is how does she show love to me? So this one again is very interesting. So I'm not necessarily sure why this is. I just say maybe it's because you're autistic, but Hayley's very literal, very like 1 + 1 is 2 kind of thing. It's very literal, and oftentimes something that she doesn't necessarily understand is that okay, let me put it this way. She has this concept, this ideology that if I've done something for you, I've done it for you. So for example, I will come up to her and say, babe, I've not really been feeling much love from you lately. Again, which is a technique that we've sort of talked about that works. I'll come to that a bit later. But I will approach her and say, babe, I'm not feeling loved by you lately. And her response would be, what about on last week Thursday when I did X, Y, Z for you? And I'll be like, that was a week and a half ago. And she was like, yeah, I still showed you love. And I was like, okay, but that's not how it works. Like, just because you do something on Monday doesn't mean that you're now immune to do something for the next 6 months. Like, it doesn't work like that. It's not like a gauge or bar gauge that I did something, now your gauge is full. When your gauge is depleted, then I'll do it, you know? Which, like, it has, like, it's a literal thing. I've done this, so now he feels loved, you know? And I tried to explain to her that that's not how it works, you know? Or not necessarily that's not how it works, but it's like that. I guess that's not how I receive it. Just because you've done something for me one day doesn't mean that I'm content. Like, I want to feel loved unconditionally, right? Or I want to feel loved continuously, you know? And again, it's something that's quite difficult for her. One, because sharing emotion is something that's quite difficult to some people who's autistic, and my wife is part of that. It's hard for her to express her own feelings, oftentimes because she doesn't know what to say. If you remember my last video, it's the over-processing. There's a time where, you know, she may over-process so much information in a small time that it's just too much to process. And she may have it in her heart what she wants to say, but for it to come out, it's like, I have nothing to say. Which again can oftentimes be misread, which I used to misread a lot. You know, we'll have a deep conversation about this. I'll speak for 20 minutes. So emotional. Some women will be in heaven at this point. My wife, it's just information overload. So it was difficult for me to ask her to share her emotions or to even show love to me, because oftentimes it was difficult for her to even express her own emotions, express her own feelings. So it was tough for her, you know, if she wanted to do something for me, you know, it was, even though she knew what I liked, it was oftentimes so difficult for her to execute because she would overthink it. She would overthink, you know, first of all, okay, I know he likes this, like this, well, this costs this, this costs that, this costs that, I can't afford that, this is too much, it goes down the drain, if that sort of makes sense. So, you know, that was the, you know, the second thing, you know, that she couldn't process her own feelings. So it was almost, some can say selfish, to then ask her to be able to process my feelings, but then show it to me as well. So figure out, what does he want at this time, you know, right now, how he's feeling, and how can I show it to him? So yeah, that's how, yeah, so that's the second thing, you know, how she shows love towards me oftentimes was very difficult because, yeah, like I said, she oftentimes didn't know what the emotion was that she had to show. And maybe may not have even recognized the relevance or the importance of it because she felt like I was content, you know, which is going to be another video, but I want to talk a bit about anger, you know, and in my next video, you know, what I was going to say is that sometimes if, for example, I could have one emotion feeling like my relationship is X, Y, and Z. But because I've not articulated it, if I was to ask my wife, oh, how do you think our relationship's going? According to her, perfect. Like, second to none. And in the back of my mind, I'm just like, what? How do you feel like this? You know, but I'm going to come to that video in my next video next week. I'm going to talk a lot about anger and how anger has, you know, been understood and missed. Anyway, So that's the second topic. Sorry, that's the second, yes, the second topic, how she sort of shows love, which is like that. It's difficult for her to, once she's done something, it's like, it's there, I've done it, it doesn't need to be done again. Oftentimes, doesn't necessarily read into my feelings or into my emotions. So how have we overcome this? The answer is we haven't overcome it, but we've learned each other. We're learning about each other and what we like and what we don't like. So, for example, some of the things that we do is, with me doing all the things that I like, so like cooking for her when she's feeling down or whatever, going to different restaurants and hotels and taking her out and buying her things, that's not her love language, but it's mine. So what we've done is, I've explained to her that this is my comfort zone when it comes to love. This is what's easy for me to share. So we've had the conversation about her recognizing that even though this is not her love language, still recognize that it's mine. And that when I am doing something like this for you, it's because I'm showing love to you. And though you may not receive it as love, you can understand that it is love, and you can, feel a greater amount of love and respect for me because I've done something that's not necessarily your love language, but it's mine, and it's my way of showing this and giving something to you that's in my comfort zone. So she really understands that now, So that was one great tool, just to have that conversation about, what our love language is, and vice versa. I've learned what her love language is. She loves words of affirmation. She loves when you give her praise. She loves when you tell her, she's doing really well and you do things with her. She loves when you hold her hand and, you move together. She loves those type of things. And, I've had to learn, that's her love language. And now that I know it, I can do it. And now she receives that really well. In terms of how she shows love, this one is a bit more tricky. But what we've done is we've allocated time where she can show me love. She did it herself. She recognized this and she said, okay, on the bare minimum, what I'm going to do is at the start of every month, I'm going to do something for you that just shows my love to you. Because the reality is, I'm not going to think about it often. But if I can designate a time that's just for me to do something, to do that, that will be the bare minimum. So the first of every single month, my wife does something that's just for me. Which again is good, because now I look forward to the first of every month, where she's going to do something good. But that allows, it allows me to, be grateful when she, not necessarily be grateful, but it allows me to be comfortable, when she's busy during the week doing what she's got to do, for the months, and then that day I know it's designated just for me. In fact, it's oftentimes even better, because maybe in a relationship you may not show love in 2 or 3 months, so I get at least once a month. And again, it's at least once a month. And again, she knows the things that I like, again, because we've had that conversation. So that way we're able to, we're literally able to do what each other likes, at the time that we want to show love. We know each other's love language. And again, what have we learned in addition? It's just to communicate. Like I said earlier on, when I'm having, if I'm ever feeling unloved, what we naturally do is we don't say nothing, and we hope that our loved one picks up on it and say, oh, okay, what's wrong? You don't seem yourself today, you're not feeling fine. With my wife, I can look as miserable as a miserable rat, and she just won't pick up on it. So it's just about communicating. So I literally say to her, hey babe, just want to let you know, I'm really feeling a little bit disconnected from you right now. I'm feeling a little bit unloved from you, and it's just something that I want you to know. And I don't ask for her to do anything specifically, but I just give her that information. you know, because if I don't give her the information, she generally just does not know. And then hopefully, you know, she can remember, and then she does something that can make me feel a bit more loved. And that way we're able to continue to move and continue to function. You know, but that definitely was the key, is to communicate. I felt like, because it's something like love is not something that you necessarily talk about. Love is generally spontaneous, right? Love is generally, you know, unconditional. Love is, you know, unfeigned. Love is, you know, temperate, whatever it is. I mean, it's all of these things. But what love isn't is, I want you to buy me flowers and take me out. It's not literal. Love isn't a book. You know, you can't read love, you know, in a book. You know, you read it from your partner. You read, you know, everyone receives love in so many different ways. So it's difficult. Well, I guess at first it was difficult having to communicate how I feel when it comes to love, because I feel like what makes somebody love you is them being able to recognize your feelings and your emotion and do something to show you the love, you know? So it was a little bit uncomfortable at first, but it's what needs to be done. As you communicate, what it does is it opens up your understanding of your partner and your partner's understanding of you. So how you receive love and how you show love. And since we've been doing that, there's definitely been a lot more love shown in our marriage. There's still a lot more that we need to work on. I'm not even saying by far that we're there yet, you know, but we're understanding that this is something that needs to be worked on, and we're understanding that communicating about it is very, very key and very, very important. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today about love. I hope that was informative. And please comment down below, guys, if you have similar experiences, or if you're going through it right now and you want to just have someone to talk to. I would love to talk to you guys and just share some of my thoughts and some of my experiences with you guys. And most importantly, if you guys have got any other tools or techniques that you guys have used in your relationships that's worked, please guys, let me know. Comment down below, let me know, because I would love to implement those in my marriage as well, with, you know, communicating with my wife. And if we both agree that it's great, we'll love to try these tactics out as well, because that's, you know, marriage is something you have to work on continuously. You know, the moment you start working on love, it's the moment the love is going to stop. You have to continuously work on it. You know, I read a phrase today that said, the moment you start learning should be the moment you start doing or start preaching. You know, so I never want to stop learning about love, so that way I can always show it. So yeah, guys, thank you so much again for watching this video. If you did like this, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, and, you know, stay in tune with our family. We're growing slowly, but we're growing. Thank you guys, and peace.